Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Coding with Dads, episode number 8. We've been doing this a whole week now, people. Over a whole week. That is crazy that we've been doing it. It's probably been, let's see, 7 times 3. I bet it's been like 21 hours of watching us code here on stream. Tonight is going to be a shorter stream than normal as I have other tasks I need to do. But I thought I'd at least show where we're at. There hasn't been a lot of progress tonight or this afternoon, but I am going to do a little bit tonight to just try to finish up the recode that I started late last night to get my sweeper bot cleaned up. And so here's where we're currently sitting right now. My sweeper bot is the green one here, and we'll just step through where it gets stuck here. This is as far as it goes. First wave of turtles comes out. It goes down exactly like it's supposed to, and then it gets stuck. And so tonight we need to work on getting them to go home, and I'm hoping I can do that in less than an hour since I've already done it before once, and I've got most of the kinks out of the movement already in play. It is kind of fun watching some of these other bots at play. The yellow bot is a silly, stupid bot. The pink bot and the red bot, though, I believe, have some attack skills on them, and they occasionally do some things that are kind of interesting and fun, but not that interesting and fun. Also, just so I can show you the leaderboard, let's go ahead and reload it. This is the MSA leaderboard as it currently stands. We picked up at least one student, Zamaroth. I'm not sure who that is, but we'll find out sooner or later, I'm sure. And he's in the 30s here, so that's a good sign. Hopefully getting some wins. Something happened to the JavaScript where all of a sudden all of our ranks have dropped. I'm not sure what happened there. You'll note that they still say what tier we're supposedly at, but the wrong icon is showing. Must be a JavaScript error or something in their code. But these poor guys don't even have badges right now. I'm still lower than I want to be because I haven't updated my bot, but I have been kind of interested in noticing that it has been steadily going up. But the three of us here at the top of MSA haven't submitted anything because we're all in the middle of some form of refactoring that we've been doing for the, well, last few nights. So let's just get to it then, shall we? So last night we made the switch to coding in Notepad++, so we're no longer coding in the editor. This was more just because I wanted to quickly compile locally and kind of keep my code a little cleaner as I was going. It's interesting. It uncollapsed everything between last night and this morning. So let's just try to focus on what we want to focus on. So don't really care about halftime or maturing or the enrage. Sensor can all move is our big can we all move or not. So we're going to be working with that one. We'll probably be working with sensor array, which is the list of all of our sensors. Our endgame sensor is still working for everybody to go there. Turtle deliver is individual turtle delivery, hunter bot, move. The disabled, that's all fine. Don't care about that one. Going to a point and stopping. These are all the classes and movements that we put together last week, primarily to get bots to do cool things. So here's turtle move together. That is this used to be a really big function. Now it's basically one line of code saying do whatever we told you to do, which is kind of awesome. We also have turtle wait together, which is similar. All the bots just sit around and wait. So at this point, we now need probably another sensor. That's probably the best way to handle this. And I'm going to need my code that I was already using because I don't want to have to rewrite everything on channel tonight. So let's go ahead. Let's just bring this over here. We'll bring up. Okay. So what we're going to do is let's just look at this together. So this is the old code that was really spaghetti coded together. And let's just look at how we determined when to go home. So somewhere in here is a similar turtle move together. There we are. And we did this. We looped through all of our ships. And then we checked if there was something that needed to move. And we had this in here if game map Halite less than 10. But this was for determining whether or not an individual bot was able to move. They had to have at least it had to make sense for them to stay, I guess is the best way to say it. The spot they were on had to have at least 10 Halite or more, or had to have at least more than 10 Halite. And they had to have less than 800 if they didn't want to, if they were going to stay there. So all that's fine. So none of that makes sense. But here, this line right here is the line. So if total turtle Halite is greater than 500 times however many ships there are, then let's change the state. And we were doing it as part of the move. I'm not going to do it there anymore because that's not where it belongs. That should be done with a sensor. But at least I know the logic here. So that was what we were doing. So when all the ships averaged half full, then we change direction. So let's do that. Class sensor. What can we call this? Let's call this sensor turtles half full. I'd call it turtles half shell, but that wouldn't make any sense. So let's just check this one. We need a watch function because that's how sensors work. All sensors have watch, which allows us to watch for some event or whatnot. And let's close that. And now we need to check for total turtle Halite. Say that 3 times fast. Total, I can't even say it once. Total turtle Halite. So we had that variable here, and we were adding it here. We don't actually use it anywhere in this sequence, though. So I'm going to... now, see, this is interesting. We do decide what our next state is here. So maybe this shouldn't be a sensor. Because if it's a sensor, then we will have to loop over the global state. But when do these things get changed? So this sensor runs before the bots do anything. And if it was going to trip, then it would trip before the bots act. This one kind of has to wait, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe now would be a good time to leave this around here. So let's do that. If can all move, they're all capable of moving. Then I think the question is, do we need to change state? But if we actually, yeah. If they can all move, then total turtle Halite, if it's greater than 500 times total ships, then new state home together. That makes sense, but we actually need to do it on all of the ships. So we're going to do that. But we don't actually do new state because new state only applies to moves. So we don't have that. So we're going to... I need the... So we're going to home together here. So what I'm doing here is if the average of all of this stuff is more than 500, we have total turtle Halite because it was already being calculated. We have total ships. It was calculated there. So we're going to set that to home together, and then we're going to leave it like that. But if that's the case, then we don't want to execute or do we? Because the other interesting thing about this particular sensor is that it also determines where the pointer goes. So the actions might actually need to be here. So what's the difference between moving together and home together? The destination. But so it's kind of more of a global state for what's going on. So we're going to treat it right here. If No, it's got to be a global state. That's the thing. We don't have a global. We do have a global state. We have this global state. We didn't set it because we need a global state to help with this exact problem of moving the pointer. So global state equals home together, and we're good. So what we're going to do is if global state equals home together, then we're going to do something different than normal. Otherwise, we're going to do what we normally would do when we can move, which is either move together or wait, which sounds reasonable. So that's there. Now, at this point, let's go back and look at what we would do in our go home function. And again, our go home function had a whole bunch of stuff that no longer applies. Move home together. So we would loop over available ships and check for can all move. That's fine. We're still doing that. We had our leader check here. We wouldn't do that anymore. If move, did ship move. So it's basically the same code as before. So let's look through this code. Possible moves equals this global pointer, global target. So global pointer doesn't change, but global target needs to change. Global target needs to become the nearest spot, the nearest home point. Now, this gets interesting in terms of how that works. So typically we would calculate the nearest, well, for now, let's do it this way. Here's the issue. Typically we would calculate the nearest, hey, Define Evil, welcome to the stream. Typically we would define, like if this was one ship going home, like if we were just talking about the point, we would tell that ship to go home and just pick the nearest home. And we've done that. We did that last week with this target destination plus closest home. Closest home was a calculation to figure out which shipyard was the closest to us and go to it. And that sounds like a great idea to do with this, with the pointer thing, which is to send them to the closest home. But the problem in this case is if the closest home is on the opposite side of the leader, if that makes sense, then we have the problem that it won't pull all of the ships through the home node. Dot state equals is giving you, well, this is sort of React.js to some degree. There's a little bit of that flavoring in this. It comes up, in fact. But yes, I'm using state variables all over the place, which is part of what's going on. So we got to figure out how to deal with that. But for now, because we only have one shipyard in this simulation, we can move away from that. So what we're going to do when we switch the global state here, we're going to change the global target to equal me.shipyard.position because we want it to now go home. Global pointer doesn't change at all. And so what we're going to do, var possible moves, all of this is just fine. We're not going to, well, we'll leave that. We're going to add the word home, though, just to tell it apart. If global safe move was defined, that's a safety net, just to make sure what's going on. Then we're going to take the pointer. We're going to move it. If dist.0, if dist0, in theory, that means we're home, I believe, if I remember correctly. Let me see if that's in here. That would be this one. Did ship move on spawn? We'll come back to that. Hey, Penguin. Welcome back to the stream. Hope you're having a good night. I had a good day at school. Let's see. So global pointer. We're going to leave the dist function out of this because we don't, in this situation, we're trying to get back to spawn. We're not trying to extend our voyage at all. So this code doesn't seem to apply. And then we're going to loop through that, but there's an if here, and that's because there's also an else. So I think we want both of these to do this. We'll start with this one. And we're going to make it say move it home. And we're going to leave our state equal to home together or home together. It doesn't change. I don't know why we would ever need to wait together, though. Because if we wait, do we have a problem? I don't think we do. I think we should be okay. So let's try this. Let's save this. I don't have a move for home together yet. So at this point, I think I can actually just... I think it's the exact same code as move together. Let's find out. Step, turtle, home together, extends, turtle, move together. And I'm not even going to do anything more with that. Let's just read through. New state equals turtle.state. That's the same. So in theory, turtle home together could just be turtle move together. I'm separating them for naming reasons, but there's no reason I couldn't just do that. Command Q push global safe move. That should be fine. And then new state. So yeah, that should be fine. Home together. Turtle home together. So we're adding this to the list of available classes. We're going to save it. We're going to attempt to compile it. I don't know why there was a weird line break there. Let's open up the error log, see if there was any error. Oh, it didn't like the extend. Communication problem writing to pipe. Last input. You know what? Let's just do this. And then let's get rid of the extend. It extends. Well, why don't we just fix the actual problem? Gosh. Extends, not extend. You leave the S off and all the bad things happen. Let's do it again. Penguin, have you started coding a bot? Have you joined the team? Are you the name I don't recognize on our team? I'm just curious. I'm a curious soul. Decoded bot, position 1, line 2. Really? Sensor can. How can line 2 be a problem? It lies. Line 2 is not the problem. My is, oh, it's me, not my. So let's just do a search for my. Not in this code though. My dot. Where? So it is me, right? I'm not. Yeah, me. Me dot shipyard position because we talk like a pirate. Me gonna be happy, or 2-year-old, I guess. Less than a pirate. Cool. Awesome. Glad you've been looking through that stuff. That is good. There's a part of me that wishes I would have had everybody start learning Python at the beginning of the year, but since we're in JavaScript and some kids have Chromebooks, we'll roll with what we got. Failed input rejection 2-wire format on undefined on line 583. Yeah, go ahead and reload it. That's fine. 583. Command Q push ship move global move. Why does it think that was undefined? 2-wire format. Where is there? Oh, that's inside entity. I don't care about that. Cannot read property. Failed to decode bot message %. So there must be there must be a problem with the global safe move and whatever we added. So let's go take a look at what we did with global safe move. So kennel move, global state equals home together. We did that. That's fine. Global target. Global safe move if global safe move. So we had an else before, but that shouldn't matter. Possible moves. Global safe. So that, I mean, that all looks fine to me. Does the bot log have anything that would give us any insight? Crashed on setting global move home to global safe move. That's not the right encoding. What did I do? That was line 80 or turn 81. Setting global safe move. So where's that language? Setting global safe move to. I should probably put a $sign right there if I want this to actually be usable. Let's run it again, see if we can get a better error. Well, and again, Penguin, this is JavaScript, so there is a difference between Java and JavaScript. Java, you really do have to work in classes much more than we're even doing now. And then setting position home to undefined, so somehow I screwed that up. And yeah, if you're watching bits and pieces of the stream while I'm doing this, you might be catching tidbits and hints. But wait till, I mean, if you're having trouble understanding a lot of the high-end stuff that I'm doing right now, don't be afraid of that. We'll get you through the basics in Computer Club, and then what you'll find is you'll end up down this rabbit hole like I have, where you start coding a bot on a Tuesday, and 7 days later, you're still coding a bot, trying to make it, do things that you never thought possible. And if you think I'm not learning by doing this, I am. JavaScript is not a language I code in every day. It's definitely pushing my memory on some skills and some techniques. I haven't done machine learning or JavaScript programming probably since, well, I've done JavaScript programming since college, but I haven't done machine learning since college, except for maybe one little project I did at one point regarding statistics and some sporting stuff. But, excuse me. But yeah, it's all interesting. It was undefined. That's where we were when the walls fell. So we switched to safe home, but global safe move was undefined. Global safe move, possible moves failed, I'm guessing, because global pointer and global target. My guess is global target is failing. Let's fix that. So let's add a little logging here just to see what happens. It's time to go home. Your new target is global target. And I don't know why I keep doing that. Yes, I want to do that. Run the game. I agree. It's also getting me, and you may not know this, Penguin, but anytime I do computer club lessons or teach something, I try to spend a little time, if not a lot of time, with it beforehand. Otherwise, I just look like a fool when you guys ask me questions and I don't know the answers. So this gets me back into the language so that I'm more than ready to answer any possible questions that could come up. So yeah, it's good practice all around. So it's time to go home. Your new target is position 88. So 811, 810, 89, 88. So it gets home, setting global safe move. So it knows interesting. It knows that we reached the target. So now we need to, this is where we had a reverse sensor before, but I kind of want to watch this. Like, why does it err at that point? So the bot got home. Wrong code. We want this code. So this is where this line of code comes in. If I think we want to just tell all the bots to sleep for the moment, because I'm not in a position Because this should only happen maybe up here. So if if the pointer equals the target, then I guess we should tell the bots to wait together, right? Because there's nothing for them to do for the moment, because we haven't done the next phase of this. I'm trying not to cough in the mic. Gosh, silly cough. Okay, so we ran the bot. Let's see if there was an air file. There was no air file generated. That's always a good sign. Let's actually go see what this bot does, because it's way more fun watching it this way. Let's find the right replay folder. Replay 927. That looks like the right replay. Okay, so the sweeper bot. The turtles go out. That looks good. They go down. That's what they're supposed to do. Still going down. Get out of the way, Red. You're just going to cause trouble. Oh, boom! Oh, wait. It went down. Why did he go down? It learned to do something. I didn't teach it to do that. It's doing something without permission. This is intriguing. It lost a bot. That doesn't help it. So now it's stuck. It lost a... Why did it do that, though? I want to run this again. I want to see... I should have stopped... I told all the bots to wait when it got here, not run back out. And yet, it ran back out. It was like it had a mission all on its own. Unexpected behaviors. Sometimes... I don't know. There's a line in Short Circuit, the movie, that, they just run code, and I like to extend that to say they only run the code you wrote. I swear, sometimes they run code that I did not write, and I'm never really sure where it comes from. So let's watch another replay just to see what this one does, because I'm curious if it'll do the same thing. So comes out, goes down, Red, stay away. You're just going to interfere in my test results. It went down again, and pink got in the way that time. That's okay. But now these bots are going to return. Interesting. So something causes it to change direction. What turn? So in theory, we hit it at that turn right there. 45 is where things start to do things that I'm not expecting. So it's time to go home. Setting, blah, 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 move it home. Position 0. We still haven't made it home yet. Setting global save. Wait. No, we did. We did. And then this is when it decided to... 7 on the X is the wrong... That looks like down. Looks like down to me. What's on 7? 44 is on 7. 44 is on 7. Setting global safe move. So it lost. It was in wait together mode. Then the sensor ran again. And because it was no longer... Because it no longer had... Oh, that's what's going on. So it defaulted... Wait together triggered. It then came back in here after it was unloading the ships. That's interesting. And then it resumed... But why did it go that... Why did it go straight down? It went straight down because I was at destination, which... Huh. So the first time it goes out, goes down, then it goes up, and back again. Then it goes straight down again because it doesn't know, and it didn't grow. So this is where the reverse function needs to happen. If distance equals 0, then even though I put a weight together... If we trace through what happens next, we end up in this else. and the else eventually puts it back to move together. It changes its target. So that's interesting. Wait together may not, like I need like a stop together, but that's not what we want to do anyway. Like this isn't the state we want to end up in. What we need to do is we need to do the reverse function where we're now telling the bot to go the other direction. So if distance equals 0, the only time this should happen, and actually we only want it to happen, and global state equals home together, we're going to pick a new destination and resume the attack. And let's go back and look at our old code here. It is kind of spooky when the bot does things you want it to do, but you didn't tell it to do it. I wonder if it'd be, well, actually, I don't wonder. I know it would be. It'd be fun to be like watching Short Circuit at the same time as this and playing it along on the Twitch stream, because I love that movie. Number 5, Johnny 5. Some people like Short Circuit 2 better. I think it has its qualities, but Short Circuit 1, that's a real love story right there. I don't even remember when I first saw that movie, but I made my parents get it for me on VHS for some reason. Number 5 is alive. Okay. We were going to look at the code for the previous bot's switch target, but we lost that code. Play. Go to editor. Are you down? Are you down? Are you down? And I don't think it has to be as complicated as the old one either. So yeah, here's a reverse together. So check if leader is home. We already got that. For each ship, if it's the leader, yeah, see, this is way more complicated than it needs to be. The big line of code that's in here that matters is this one that controls how many ships we want to create. We don't care about scattering, and we need to pick a new destination. So let's start with these lines and maybe clean them up and see where we end up. So at this point, if me.length, the number of ships, does this already exist? So if available ships, we haven't specified ships to create yet though, have we? No. So we need to do that. But ships to create at this point, did the old code define that? Because I think ships to create, we define, yeah, this is supposed to be ships to create, not ships to create later. So what we're going to do is we're going to declare that when we get back to base, we now want to start creating more ships. So ships to create needs to be set to the floor of how much halite we have divided by 1,000. So we're going to spend all the halite we have to build a whole new set of ships. Then we can just do, since this variable is already here, we can do available ships dot length plus ships to create. If it's greater than map width divided by 2 plus 1. I no longer care about this because this was a limit to try to keep it from not going off the map. You know what? For my demo now, I want it to go off the map, so I don't care. That was what that was there for. This is why we have to recode everything. We're removing the stuff that doesn't matter. So that was to reduce the number of ships we were making. Don't care. So ships to create equals, yeah, so we up the ships to create. We don't care about the padding variable. We don't want to do that. And you know what? This is a good time to log. So let's do this. Reverse. Cha-cha, real smooth. We should watch Short Circuit, the last day of Computer Club. That's not a bad idea. Or maybe if we have a Computer Club session that's completely dedicated to coding, or maybe I'll make that the goal. If somebody breaks a certain barrier, maybe like the 60 barrier by a certain day, we will have a game and movie day. I think that could work. That sounds like a good reward. But somebody other than Kevin, myself, Josh, somebody has to break a certain barrier without cheating, and they have to prove to me that they did it and that they didn't just copy their code because somebody else's code. They have to be able to read it to me, make modifications. Ships to create. Okay, so we know that. Is ships to create a global? Like, is it way up here? It is. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to up the ship create counter. We're going to log that for the sake of it. And then we need to set a new start destination, game map.normalize new position equals. We no longer use this. We now use global pointer. Actually, this should be fine, but we don't want to normalize it. We definitely don't want to normalize it. That would be a problem. New position equals the shipyard position plus M direction. Now, did we use M direction when we did this the first time? No, we just did this minus ships to create. So M direction, for now, we're going to pull off as well. So shipyard position, it's got to be, so we went minus before. Where'd that go? We just inherently decided minus. So I do think var wider, var exter. No, I don't want to mess with that. Var. Actually, I do. Y exter. That sounds perfect. -1. So what I'm doing here, I've got two directional variables that are going to rotate to make the quadrants for me. So what I did here is I said minus ships to create. What I actually want to do is plus xdir times ships to create. So that's either going to be -1 times ships to create, meaning I want to go left, or it'll be +1, in which case I want to go right. So this formula suddenly becomes that. Where's that line I was just looking at? It's part of the flip. Yep. So start equals new position plus, well, we can just paste this in again. So it knows this times ships to create. So we're creating it on the X. Now, that was code from before. We don't need that now. And then me.shipyard.position Y. So it's gonna move it out in the opposite direction of where we were. I think we can put that all in one line. There's no reason not to. And do I need to set a new target destination? Because, I mean, we need to set the global. We don't want to set, so this becomes global target. So I'm just going to say global target equals new position, blah, blah, blah. That looks legit. And then my state actually should be, I don't want to set state at all, because that's going to get determined by what happens next. It's either going to be home together, move together, or wait together. So that's fine. The only thing I haven't done here is updated xdir and ydir. So, and you know what? I can just go copy this code, but basically I need to rotate the values by 4. So that's this one. If m direction equals -1, then ydir, and then there should be an m direction times. Yeah, these two. These two lines are going to cause the variables to flip through 4 different states, basically. So it'll go 1, 1, or +1, +1, +1, -1, -1, -1, +1, -1, -1, or whatever order it ends up playing in. So let's see, where do we want to do that? We want to do that right here where we call reverse. So this becomes xdir equals m direction times -1. And if xdir equals -1, which means if this is the second time we've done this, because it'll start off -1, and the first time we get here it'll go to +1, Then we want wider to be wider times -1. Okay. I might be wrong, because I have been many times before, but I might be wrong, but this might be a fully functional windmill sweeper bot. And it's interesting because it collected 1745 halite. Now, I'm not saying it's a perfectly working one, but it actually collected halite. Let's go watch this replay and see what happens. That's not the replay. There was an error in here somewhere, but we'll come back to that. Okay, so green goes out. Looking good so far, green. You're doing great. Goes down. Turtles are filling up. Getting their fill. Goes back. Red decides to get a little annoying, but that's okay. We can handle it. Going down again. Getting their fill. They're all pretty full there. They should be turning around right about now. They went home. Uh-oh. That's not what was supposed to happen. So that the second thing that happened was actually the thing that should have happened the first time and didn't. And that guy didn't make it all the way home. So something went wrong with our detection for whether or not we got home, which makes me think this code is happening in the wrong place. So these two things... I think both are happening in the wrong place. They need to happen... I'm trying to think how it's getting there. So it gets back to home. It knows the turn it gets home for a distance of, like, maybe it'll be easier if we look at the log. So right, I think it'll just be easier if I start through the top here because I can read it then. So this is the bot going left. You can see the X value declining. So it got to its target position, so then we start changing Y. And we move down, we wait. It changes Y again, we wait. Changes Y again, we wait. And right here, it's time to go home. Here's our first it's time to go home. So it should start making moves. So the target changes. It's fine. Moves up. Or starts... Yeah, it moves up first and then it moves over. So then we get down to here. That's fine. And then we get to turn 45, and this is where something goes wrong. So turtle state, move it. At this point, the turtle state is wait. I'm not entirely sure why. But then it moves down immediately, which it's moving down in the wider, which is the else. That's this part right here. It's the else on home together. So it thinks for the moment that our state is still home together when pointer position equals 8. But that's here. No, it's here. This is the first time it happens. 7, 8. Because on the next turn, it hits 8, 8. And it never actually registers that. Like, you never actually see... It hits here, but it immediately changes the target with a wait state. Immediately. And we switched, but we did switch to home. No, we had to have switched to move together because the wider is only part of move together. So we ended up back. How did we get back into home together? Global state equals home together, home together. That's fine. How did we get to move together? I feel like maybe I didn't save it before I ran it because something's not right. Nope, still did the same thing. I'm missing something silly here. Somehow, because it can't possibly be over 500 times total ships. Like that's out of the realm of question. Which gets me down to the 0. So can't, what is it? Global state equals home together. That's all that can happen. You can't even get, can it get to the else? It can get to the else if can all move equals false. In which case the ship's state goes to wait together. Can wait together change the state? New state equals turtle dot state. That's fine too. It doesn't change state. It never actually looks. What's the else on? If can all move. If it can't move, it doesn't do anything. That's what it should do. Calculate distance global. So if the distance from the target to the pointer is 0 before, when did we log reverse? We didn't log reverse because it didn't happen. It jumped. It jumped when oh. But how did global state change? This is the part that is getting me. If global state is greater than 500, then home together. But the thing that flips the global state back, what flips global state back right now? Nothing. That's something we blatantly missed. So how does it ever... It's like it somehow magically... Turtle state wait. Turtle state move it. Turtle state move it home. So it went to wait. How does wait get back to moving? Global state equals home together. I'm missing something obvious. I know I am. Turtle. It doesn't. It doesn't get back. Global state is set to wait. It gets here. Home together. Then else. Wait. So we bypass here. But it goes through here, and that undoes the wait. So why does it end up in wait together for the first play in the first place? Because home together. Let's go back and look at the log. Move it home. Turtle state wait. Why does... Oh. Is there a wait up here? Can all move sets it to wait. Yeah, okay. That's a problem. It's not a problem here because the math allows it to get back. So home together, can all move trips. What we're going to do is we're going to say if, this is probably bad. I feel like this is bad coding, but it's the only way I can think to do it at the moment. We're going to, if global state equals home together, else we're going to do the normal thing. We're going to copy this code, except we're going to change wait home together, wait home together. Actually, well, there is a better way to do this. Yeah, I will do that. Because except I don't track it. Never mind. I'm not going to do it the other way. I'm going to do it this way. Global state equals home together, wait home together, wait together. And I'm going to change turtle state to turtle state. It's a long voyage home. The voyage out is always an adventure. The voyage home can be too. Just ask Comer. But okay, so I now need a wait home together in this mix. Wait homes together's sole purpose is to be exactly the same as turtle wait home together. It's the exact same thing as wait together, which is just a placeholder. But it's not even worth extending. But it'll allow me to determine which one is taking place. So what ends up happening is if wait home together triggers, then what I need to do is not allow it to get back down here. If global state equals home together or global state equals wait home together. Nope, yeah. So in that situation, it should come into the movement functionality. If it's not able, yeah, okay. That should bring me back to home together. If something feels wrong about it, I'm not sure what though. So let's run it. Best way to figure it out is to run it. And there's definitely an error somewhere. Class total. That's interesting. That's way down here. Class total. It's like I may have failed to close a closing bracket. Save. If you're wondering how I spotted that, it was the tabbing that saved me. So tab your code, people. It's good advice. Kind of quiet night here on stream. Nobody's here besides Penguin in chat, seems, and Define Evil. Don't know if you guys are coding bots too. 3590 Halite, that's not horrible. Let's go watch the replay. See if it engages in some windmill action. I have a feeling something goes wrong based on the flatness here. Red is coming over to be annoying. It waits patiently, though. That's nice of it. Now, why is it... See, now, this is not the right behavior. So, at this point, he's sitting there, and it should be hitting the trip to reverse directions, which should change everything. Except, now that I say that, let's go see if the reverse is in here. You'll note global safe to move home is now undefined. It's a long voyage home. No, we never call reverse reverse. Let's go look at why we never call reverse reverse. You know what? I don't like it being in can I move. Like, I feel like that's... It shouldn't need to be able to move to reverse directions. In fact, I almost feel like this is an early game check. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a part of me that still thinks it should be another sensor. Hey, Fabio, what language will we be programming the bots in with Computer Club? It will be JavaScript because that's what we've been doing with tic-tac-toe. I want to not have to worry about syntax. You're welcome to try other languages, but that's where we're going to start. Hey, King Richard, how's it going?
Going good.
I'm getting warmer. I'm not going to code too much longer tonight because I do have some work I got to get done tonight. But
I made a 3D part. It is printing right now.
For what?
An adapter from my table saw to my existing shop vac.
Oh, cool. So that you can hook it right in and suck up the sawdust when you cut things?
Yeah, my table saws are built for like larger shop vacs, and I have a smaller one.
Nice.
So I'm going to see if I can make an adapter and solve my problem rather than go to the store and try to find something.
That sounds reasonable. So it did more there. So let's see. It called reverse reverse 3. It set the target to 11.8. So it added 3 under the assumption that 3 were going to get created. So let's rewind that just a little bit and see what happens here exactly. Because it feels like it stopped short to me. So that is... Hello, little green turtle. Show me your stats. Oh, and we had collisions. We had collisions because somebody was sitting on... That might be why it looked odd to me. Because it didn't actually... It did... No, not everybody moved. Interesting. So let's rewind here. We put ships created in. And I'm wondering if this is the bug. Global state is not equal to move together. And global state is not equal to home together. That would inherently mean that if the bots are moving, it should do this. That's weird. Wait, if global state is not equal to move together or home together, it's or. We actually want them to be moving. So there are 3 conditions for when it can do this. Okay, let's try this again. See if we get the extra bots to get created. Still failed out miserably, but I'd like to see the replay nonetheless to try to debug what's going on here. Watch. Select replay. That one. 10 o'clock. This is when I said I was going to stop. I'm not stopping. Yikes. That was not pretty.
When did you start?
9. They all went collision crazy right at the beginning. My OR is apparently not good. If global state is not equal to move together. Something doesn't feel right about that. I feel like it should be equals move together. Because the bots Bots have to move to free up the spot on the shipyard. How did that break? Well, let's try it anyway. Because I'm not understanding why it's failing the way it's failing. Sweeper ended up with 3,000 halite. That's a bad sign. But we'll check it anyway. Yeah, that was a really bad sign. He died immediately. I need to undo this code and make sure I understood what I was actually doing. If global state is not equal to move together, or game turn number equals 1. Something about this doesn't seem right, guys. I would think that the global state needs to equal move together. Because if the pointer didn't move on the previous turn, how did that spot just get vacated? What's the default global state? Move together. So let's do this. Let's delete that. I feel like this should work. I keep hitting that button like it's the magic button to make it do things, and it's not. This is the magic button to make it do things. And let's go. So I downloaded the gym today. It turns out it doesn't work with JavaScript. That was depressing. At least I couldn't figure out how to make it work with JavaScript. It looked kind of cool. Felt a little buggy. But I couldn't exactly tell you why. It has an editor that, or not an editor, oh, it just sits at 5,000. Isn't that wonderful?
We doesn't make bots around here.
I need to... There's something very strange, but we'll add more logging. Current game state, or build ship game state, $ global state. Okay, and then I'm also going to log building ship. Run, Forrest, run. Okay, so I just want the windmill to work. It's that whole thing. I want the windmill to work so I can go to bed. Except I'm not going to go to bed. I'm going to go to work, which I should probably just do anyway. I could write code while I work, and then people could see the passwords for all my clients, and then I wouldn't have any clients anymore. Because that's how that works. Oh, that's hilarious. New strategy, do nothing and hope that the opponent crashes on your base. I don't think that's a winning one.
Did you say you had to put all the classes at the top of your code?
No, I had to put them at the bottom because I can't use them. I had to put the thing that contained the array of classes at the bottom because they need to be defined before I can use them.
Got it.
My player 0 global. Wait together.
But that's just because you put all your classes at the bottom.
Sure. The key is it has to come after the classes. The array had to come after the classes.
Right.
I feel like I'm missing something obvious. It can't move because there's no turtles. Is that? And all spots stays true. So there's no turtles to move, so the stupid thing can't. Okay. So I do need the turn 1 check in place because there's no turtles here. Or game dot turn number equals 1. And this needs to be in parentheses for my own sanity. Okay, so that's fine. Give me bots and give me lots of death, because that's what happens when turtles play this game. They die. And this immediately kills 2 turtles, so I'm not even going to take the time to load it. I want to see what happens. So it sets up position 3-8. That sounds good. It says wait. Build game state equals wait together. Fine. So it's wait together. Global pointer position 8-8. Target safe to move. Move it. Build game move together. Building ship. This is a problem. So let me go put my other favorite little command in place. And I don't know why I took this out. This is like my favorite thing to look at in the whole game. The command queue. Right before it runs. It's excellent information for those wanting to know exactly what their bot thought it was about to try to do.
Mm-hmm.
The command queue. 3,000 Halite. They committed suicide again. Okay, so build ship. M0. That's move ship 0 west, right?
Move ship 0 west.
That's how I read that. And then build a ship.
There's no ship 0.
I think it's... I don't know.
Pretty sure the first ship is ship 1.
I don't know. Hello, Chops. Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
You gonna start a bot tonight?
No.
Oh my.
I'm starting a bot tonight.
I thought you already had a bot.
It's a new
Yeah, and it's running. It's a solid platinum diamond bot, maybe.
No, first ship has ship
Trying
ID
to work
0.
on a GM.
Just for the record.
Are you sure?
Yep. I just checked the replay. So move
I've
ship.
never had a
west
ship
build.
ID of 0.
We're okay there. So both ships must exist briefly on this turn.
Not possible.
Turn 2. Move 0 west build. Yep, so they both exist. They are happy here.
Oh, never mind. See, never mind.
Move the 4th ship west. Why does it think it can move the 4th ship west without moving the other ship? That's really confusing. We didn't have this problem 5 minutes ago. What caused it?
Oofda. Oofda.
What's the target at this point? The target is 3-8, so that should be fine. the game state was wait together. However,
Don't complicate
we
yourself.
built a ship. It picked up move together when we built it. The sensor happens before that, so this isn't supposed to be that. It's supposed to be that. It needs to pick up the global state because otherwise you get a stray ship doing whatever it thinks it wants to do. And we found our bug, I hope. We're going to run this. It's going to be beautiful. Probably, maybe, I don't know. We'll find the next bug, I'm guessing. It's that slippery slope. Oh my, the sweeper bot ended up with, okay, 5. It ended up with more stuff than I thought it would. So let's see. Bot dies, extend out, please. Didn't extend out enough. Did it hit target, though, is the question. Well, let's keep going. Hit replay, it reversed. It went back again. It got caught in a weird little loop. This is entertaining. I have no idea what it thinks it's doing, but it looks funny. It really likes the halite on that X direction right there. Okay, so we know a few things went wrong. Let's go back to the first one because we can only solve one problem at a time. So it got to... So 5 ships came in. It got to here. Ship died. That was perfectly acceptable. It moved in. At this point, we still haven't gotten back to base. So we get to right here, turn 45. If we go check the log, turn 45 is when the reverse should take place. Turn 45. Reverse, 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 reverse. Okay, sounds reasonable. So it calls for a reverse. As a result, it updates the target position to 11.8 and turns us back to... now see, this is where a problem occurs. Why is turtle state move at home at this point? Turtle state should not be move at home. Turtle state should be move it. It should be moving in the right direction. So, why? Because we didn't change the state after the reverse. So we talked about doing it, we just never did it. So global target changes, global state changes to move together.
Is global really on the global?
Yep. Because the pointer's on the global. That invisible ship that's guiding their destinies,
Yeah.
he had to exist outside of the realm of everything for it to make sense.
Okay.
I probably could have made it its own class or something. Then it would just be a single item in global, I guess. But he is sitting in global. Oh, this is getting warmer. Okay, so comes out, goes down, grabs halite. Red's on the attack because it likes to be annoying. We destroy it. Pink is also on the attack, it appears. It built out, but it didn't
Did
build
green
out.
win?
No.
Oh, no, never mind. What happens to your red bot?
He got killed, and then the other one got killed. And
No,
then
I
the
mean,
pink one
like,
got-
why does it tail off?
Let's go look. Probably
Is it
they're all dead,
kamikaze?
if I had to guess.
Is that the kamikaze bot?
Yeah, that's kamikaze bot. So they all went and died at the other
100%
end.
kamikaze?
Yep.
Effective strategy. Murdered green.
Well, it did. I mean, it kills a number of things, but yeah, it's not great. So somewhere
Then.
This
I
looks
can't pink.
this looks like an off by
Oh,
one
pink
error.
errors.
So we get to
Red
here.
wins.
Hmm?
It doesn't even play. Red won, and it doesn't even play the last third of the game.
Yeah, that happens. I forget what the other bots are doing. Hey, it's Kevin.
No.
So reverse again takes place on turn 45. It's amazing how consistent that is. Wait, we then set it to move it with the target at 11. So 3 plus 8 equals 11. Where's 11 on the board? 8, 9, 10, 11. So it should
what are you
end
doing?
up here. What am I doing? I'm
Yeah.
polishing up or finishing the rewrite that I started last night to get the bot back to doing windmill strategy, because I want to see this windmill strategy work the way it's supposed to work and then go from there. So
Yeah.
it's here, but I got to do it. I got like 15 more minutes to get it working, and then I really do need to quit for tonight.
Yeah.
I have other things that must be done, or life will be annoying. Just tried
Me
a
too.
game called Card Life. Card Life. What kind of game is Card Life? Why do you think I'll like it, Blake? Like, what kind of Card Life? I'm Googling it.
Can you call a method of a class in the constructor that is of the class?
How can it be made out of
Yes.
recycled cardboard?
It all
You-
gets defined before it actually gets
Set
called.
in a cardboard science fantasy world.
Um.
Steam early access dev blog upcoming. I'm kind of looking at it on my other screen here, just kind of seeing what it is.
I'm pretty
This
sure
is
you
the-
can.
I think you can.
Just to like simplify your constructor.
Makes sense, Blake.
That's what I do.
Looks interesting.
I haven't done any object-oriented code per se on my
Survival
own.
game,
Obviously,
setting
all the code that they provide us is object-oriented, but setting up my own classes is something I've never done before.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out a little bit
Alright.
more later. Link might like it too. It looks kind of cool. And in fact, we're in talks to possibly get Link a computer here pretty dang soon. Probably over the holidays or something, depending on when I get
Ugh.
my new one. What?
Not a
Are-
fan.
Not a fan of
you-
getting kids computers?
Well, it's a keeping up with the Joneses kind of thing.
You don't have to get him a computer.
I have one that he can use downstairs.
Yep.
But the problem for me is space. Where would I set it up?
Right
Where would I
next to you where
set
that
it up?
couch is.
There is no space.
Collision was meant to happen. So
Create interface.
there's now 7 ships. Something's still not right. So we get to here. Turn 45, 3. The position goes to 11. So let's follow this guy. Does he go all the way to 11? 9, 10, 11. It's got to be more than 11. It's got to be plus 1 to that. But then we have a new problem. Do we need to reset the pointer to get it to work? Yes, we do.
So, Justin, did you see the leaderboard?
Yeah, there's another person
Yeah,
in the
it's a
80s.
new leader.
Yeah. And
Is
did
it
you
your
see
secret identity?
MSA? No, he was there last year too.
Did I see
He's just
MSA
been
on the
biding
leaderboard?
his
No.
time.
We're like 8th.
We're like the 8th org.
Yeah, but the person in it that joined, the person that you hate,
I hate them? Why do I hate this person?
I don't know. You told me.
When did it? What?
I've never heard Justin say anything like that.
Zamarath? I hate Zamarath?
Yeah. Do you know who Samrath is?
I have no idea who that is.
He might be going by the name of Legenius.
Oh,
Oh, that's John?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't hate John. I strongly dislike him for various reasons that have nothing to do with anything legit. I don't actually dislike him at all. I just like to say that because if I actually disliked him for the reasons I'm saying, I'd have to dislike my best friend too, and I'm not going to do that. Not over the reason that we're talking about.
Richard is getting run over by reindeer.
I'm very confused now.
See, my reason for disliking John is that he left MSA before he graduated. And
well, when I went to MSA, they didn't have any sports.
Well, you could kind of make the argument that he had the same reason, but except it wasn't sports. But yeah, no, I have no ill will towards John, and
Yeah, I know.
he's more than welcome to join our team.
That's why he's here.
Let's see. Why would you never be able to code? I mean, not having time is one thing. I understand that, but
Man,
work my last day paycheck.
even in this game, I'm gold.
You know, if you took the time to learn to program, you could probably make more money. That's why you got to spend time doing it, Blake. That's
Yeah, make it your hobby.
Yep, exactly. You know, it doesn't take a lot to get very far. Like you start with this stuff, and then all of a sudden, it snowballs because you need to learn how to do something. It's like one problem solving after another, and the more you do it, the more it gets. You don't just instantly start off knowing how to write code like this. It does not work that way. You have to.
Well, and to be fair, this code, I mean, it's logic. If you understand logic, you can code.
Yeah, flowcharts, that kind of thing. It all works
The rest
together.
of it's just syntax of the various language.
Yep.
And then trying to get cute. Make it work, then make it fast.
I gotta say,
In that order.
Go is a pretty nice language.
Are you now trying to build a bot in Go?
I'm tempted to, though.
I believe I'm language agnostic. I have nothing against or for or anything regarding any language because I don't know. That's how I roll. If I just add one to this, that's going to be a problem. If I subtract one, that's going to be a problem. What did I do in my old bot? That's kind of the question at the moment for me. Let's pull up the old bot again. So whenever I would do this formula previously, it would be m direction times this plus ships to create later. Now I had to move to ships to create later. Why? And I had a padding variable, but padding never got used. Ships to create later as opposed to ships to create.
Yes. You right?
What are you saying, Blake? I'm guessing I would never be able to code. Plus, I don't even know.
But I'm just saying yes.
Assembling a computer has little to nothing to do with programming. In fact, they're so different that there are literally, I mean, they're not even. They're two separate degrees in college.
And people don't understand that they are.
Yeah, I mean, there are all sorts of people that I know that can repair computers that can't write any line of code, and there are a lot of people I know that can write code that have absolutely no understanding of how to assemble or build a computer or what parts go where, or even how to troubleshoot why the computer won't turn on in the first place. They are two completely separate things.
You watch a YouTube video for 20 minutes and you'll know how to put together a computer. They make it so dead simple these days.
Yeah.
Don't sell yourself short, Blake. Don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
You're smarter than you think you are.
In fact, just by saying that you're not smart puts you in a smart category that most people don't even get into.
I'll say it this way, Blake. You can't. Yes, you can mess up a computer by programming. However, you are so far from being at that level of programming that you don't even need to worry about it. Like the worst thing that you might do if you're coding in like C or C++ is maybe you find some way to get outside of the normal memory constraints and you cause a blue screen. That would be the absolute worst thing. And if all it's going to take to
Unless
fix
you're
that
doing
is reboot.
file interactions.
Yeah, but he's not going to jump right into file interactions. That's just it. He's not going to like write over his C drive or something like that day one.
A lot of the first code a lot of the coding that I've done for a job is about moving files from one location to another.
Oh,
and
batch scripting.
If you move a file and don't properly paste it or copy it to the destination, it can sometimes just disappear.
This is true.
You'll get an error.
Yeah, you could you could do those things, Blake.
He could start with C, and he'd be spending so much time just trying to get his thing to compile that he wouldn't even have to worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and
I think the real answer is don't start with C.
Yeah, start with JavaScript,
C,
start with
it's beautiful.
Python. Nothing's gonna go wrong.
You made
in those.
mistakes. It's all good.
No, it's because it was the focus on learning the basics.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to focus on learning the basics, I'd start with basic.
This is true. Basic's a good language. I mean, and if you've never
Open up your calculator and go to it.
Yeah. If you've never ever programmed before, there are some things that can help you. Code.org is great. Learn something simple. Learn HTML. If you're looking for a paid skill, go learn HTML.
There are an untold number of free places that you can learn how to code. And there's tons of free classes you can take. Like there's the resources available now weren't even available 4 years ago, 5 years ago when I first started. Like there were some good ones then, but now it's even better. Like the amount of just how advanced some of these online learning platforms have become in just half a decade.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I started teaching myself, and then I took a break, to go back to school. And then now, just recently, I've been picking it back up, and I'm like, oh, wow. Look at all this stuff that's available now.
HTML is not a bad way to start. In fact, Blake, if you've been playing Minecraft, you've been programming if you've been using Redstone. Redstone is a form of more like more like electrical engineering type stuff, but it's still the same type of logic. You still end up with gates. You still end up with a lot of very similar type things.
Or just do where everybody really starts, and that's with the TI-83.
Yeah, Richard.
Yep.
That's what Richard was just saying.
Do it
Go grab a calculator.
on the calculator itself, though. Don't get their little IDE or whatever that they used to have. Just on the calculator itself.
Yep.
And then you do a little bit of HTML, and then take a long break.
So my first, and I still use this from time to time. I don't know when the last time I used it in computer club was, but it still exists. And there's two other things that I love to use in computer club that if you haven't gotten a chance to check them out. One is called Alice. Alice is a good way to start learning Java and programming with blocks, and it's out of Carnegie Mellon. We normally use LS2, but LS3 has come a long way. It's a cool little way to make some like 3D animations and stuff like that to get started. Good fun way to do that. The other one is a little bit less about having fun with graphics and blocks and stuff like that, and that is Logo. And Logo comes in all sorts of varieties. You can go all the way back to the little green turtle, but I wonder if I still have it installed on this computer. I do. FMS Logo is more of a kind of a geometry type program, but you program again, it's a turtle. Everything's a turtle. Forward 50, right 90, forward 50, right 90, forward 50, right 90, forward 50, right 90. Hey, look at that. We just wrote, a bunch of lines of code to make the turtle do that, but if we reset that, we could just, repeat forward 50, right 90. Oh, look at that. We just found a way to make a loop for our first loop. So,
was that third or fourth grade?
For me, it was second, but yes, we did it later too.
I think it was third grade.
I did it in second grade with Lacey Graham, Michael something.
I wasn't in the hood.
This is true.
In second grade.
But I know there were 4 of us that did it, and then the next year, it was done. Or no, and then it was 4th grade with Bombsto was the next time we did it with Jerry Caldwell. When the first few weeks were with regular logo, and then we did Lego logo.
That. I'm pretty sure they did with logo in 3rd grade.
Maybe we did something with Miss Hanson. I don't remember, but the big thing was Bombsta with
Lego.
With Lego logo. Well, it started off with regular logo, but yeah, then turned into groups for Lego logo. Which Lego logo? I have one of these. If you don't have one of these and you have a love for Lego and logo, Dacta
Mindstorms
Control Board. Dacta Control Lab.
Which is completely unnecessary, right?
No, it's awesome.
This thing Mindstorms right now, and Mindstorms is so crazy now.
Yeah, the EV has all new plugs. But if you have the old stuff, this was like Mindstorms was nice because it had 3 inputs and 3 outputs, and the inputs could be both they could be either kind, and it was portable and battery powered, and it had an infrared transmitter on it, which allowed you to combine them to be even bigger. But this never needed to be shut off. And so you could literally run 8 outputs, 4 analog inputs and 4 digital inputs. You could run them all day long and never stop, and it was beautiful. Like I had a train with working gates that would run all night in my bedroom. Yeah, those were the days. And then they switched to the EV series, and now I haven't even jumped on and bought one yet. I should buy an EV series thing. Best part about this though is because when Windows Vista and 7 dropped or whatever and started dropping support for 32-bit apps and 16-bit apps and serial ports became a non-existent thing on modern PCs. Somebody took the time to hack the thing, so now there's a Microsoft
serial USB.
Well, you can get serial USB adapters regardless, but there is now a I forget what they're called. It's a library that works in .NET for C#, C++, and Visual Basic, any of the 3. And you can basically code in any of those 3 languages, and I'm sure there are parallels for it in other languages too, but you can now code in any of those 3 languages on your machine. And I know that the one for Visual Basic even includes, this isn't it, but it includes a test interface that you can work, so you can actually watch the control board from your program. So it's not quite logo. I'm still waiting to see somebody do Lego logo with the kind of like this right here. This was Lego logo back in the day, on the Apple 8 or whatever. I wonder where that laptop is. I still have a laptop for
Quandary.
Dr. Quandary. I have that game too. I have that for PC.
That we did.
The memories. Okay, I wanted to finish this by 10:30. I got sidetracked. Where did I leave off? I was trying to solve a problem. The problem was whether or not I add 1, and then I added 1. No, I never added 1. Let's go add 1. That's what I was doing. I was going to add 1 to the target line, and I wasn't just going to add anyone. I was going to.
Why is it so hard to get 5-year turtles to move in unison?
I can get 5 of my turtles to move in unison. It's getting them to move in unison, reverse direction, and grow.
Yeah.
That
sounds pretty easy. No.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wouldn't that be easy? I will do it. I don't want to do it, but
I would do it.
Beat me to it.
I don't want to. I'm trying to learn object-oriented coding right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I realized I was doing it wrong because I was trying to refactor all of my code into object-oriented, and I was like, how about we just get the object working and then bring all the garbage with?
I think it may have done it. Let's see. And Richard, I'll show you exactly the moment where the code gets really annoying. So the invisible pointer, let me rewind. So the invisible pointer is this turtle right now, right?
Yep.
Okay. And he moves out. he goes down.
Yeah.
That all of this makes perfect sense. This was not overly hard, other than just getting minor coding things out of the way. So the pointer,
Making sure they can move.
Yep.
Yeah.
yep, the pointer then gets summoned back home. Again, the logic here makes perfect sense. Okay, and now is there, and now we need to both change the direction, spawn new ships, and every time a ship is spawned, the pointer needs to move. It can't stay where it is, because if you imagine again that this ship is the pointer, I'm spawning those new ships. The pointer is now 3 away from the end, which means when we go to summon it home, it's not going to pull all of them through to clean them.
When it comes back again, you mean?
Yeah, so like when it comes back, if this is still what it thinks
Like right
is
now,
the leader.
when it moves left, it should get everyone, but when it comes back right, it will not get the other two.
Yeah, in fact, I'm pretty sure I haven't even put this code in, so I'm betting that's what goes wrong here. So let's just keep watching going forward. So they're going to move down again, just like the previous spot. They go back, and they're going to go to the leader, and now they're going to start going up. Or in this case, apparently they still want to go left. Nope.
Are you just trying to get them all to follow your like first guy?
Oh, they ran into each other.
Yeah, well, and that's because the spawner it didn't realize it needs the leader to be there so that it can then safely spawn more ships without more ships coming in from behind. And yes, Chops, that I'm more or less having it follow a leader is what's going on. Yes.
Yeah, so wouldn't you just basically have your leader have a set of coordinates, right? And then figure out where it's safe for the leader to move. The leader moves, and then its coordinates get set to the bot number 2, then bot number 3. That's what I would do. I'd have like a bot class, and then I'd have my
You're kind of thinking
layout
like
of,
Snake.
I'd have
Yeah.
you have your like, because you get all the information about the grid layout, and you could just have a variety of coordinates, and you set the coordinate for second bot to the third bot, and then the third bot's what came from the second bot, so that you knew every time they moved, they would move into the safe space of the one ahead of them.
Yeah, so
And then if you wanted them to move in unison, what you could do is you'd track how long, like how many bots you had in a line, and then you could calculate like when's a safe time for them to now change their movement type.
Yeah, and a snake approach to getting them to move around the map is, I'm kind of intrigued by that.
You could do that, but you could also do it your way, where you're trying to get them to move 5 in a row.
Yep.
But what you do is you have them snake to get oriented in the way you want, and then once that condition is reached, you can change their move type.
Yeah, and
to
that's
like all to the right, and then
Yeah.
swap it back to follow the leader.
and
That's what I would do.
That's more or less what I'm doing. I'm changing the state to, and then I'm swapping where the leader is to a different location. The only challenge at this point is making sure that the math is working right on swaps and that they're moving the proper distance to engage in multiple actions. Because there's other things going on here than just the movement, right? You've got,
Well, without having smart checks, Justin, you just have your global pointer and you have your global size, and every time you spawn a new ship, you update global size.
global pointer, you mean?
No, I'd keep the pointer where it was and
Yeah,
just
but
update
that's-
the size.
Yeah,
That's
I would
what
just.
That's what I'm
I
getting
would
at.
just-
You can't keep the pointer where it was to get
You
it to
can,
move properly
as
back
long as your
through spawn.
calculations is, you can either. My point is, you can put that math in wherever you want it, but it doesn't really matter, right? Because the global pointer, the only thing that matters with the global pointer is that it moves the way you want to move.
Yeah, no, and it is. Except my point is that the global pointer needs to reset as soon as
If
you
you're
change
if
the
you
snake.
always want to hinge
Why would you
it
have to
on,
do that?
if you always want to hinge it on a specific spot in relation to the shipyard yard, sure. But
Yeah.
like I said, the global pointer could start at 0, 0.
Yeah, and it could move. I could move it in whatever directions I wanted, but that's not useful. That's not achieving the movement I want at all. That's what I'm getting at. If you want it to clear the entire snake every time, you need to be able to leave from point and come back to point, even though the snake may have changed.
But I know that's where we could split hairs. It's methodology. Like, as long as it knows how, in the situation you're in right now, because you have a line, the only thing that you have to worry about is how far on the X you need to move, and how far X you need to move is relation to the number of ships that you're trying to move, right? So it doesn't really matter where the pointer is, as long as the pointer is moving
Far enough away.
far enough to cover that number.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm not in disagreement, but for what I'm trying to do, it won't work. That's what I'm going to keep coming back to that. For what I'm trying to do, it won't work.
Can you describe what you're trying to do again, just for clarity?
Yeah, so I'm going to do it with the graphic because this will make the most sense.
Okay.
So starting at the beginning of the game, I want to be clear here. The turtle is irrelevant for what's going on right now. So, but the turtle will make it easy to see. So this right now, this is our imaginary pointer for how movement is being controlled. This dude right here, or this spot right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We want it to move left the exact number of turtles we have, and it knows the exact number of turtles that we're going to end up with because we run out of halite. So it's going to grow to that dimension. So in this case, 5. That makes sense. Okay. Easy. This is easy peasy code. Nothing really special.
Right.
The global pointer here is now here, which makes sense. And then, and this is just the logic of how it's moving. I could have it move any direction. It doesn't really matter. It's now going to move down just to collect halite. So it goes ahead and moves down. And then where the strategy now changes, and it doesn't change, I want to be clear, it doesn't change the leader yet. What needs to happen is this leader needs to get back to here while pulling the turtles through home, because I need to pick up that halite. I could, an example of a bad movement would be to run the leader this way and then this way. That would be very bad because all 4 of them, the 4 to the right of it, would miss. So basically, it needs to retrace its steps in such a way that this guy is the first one through and wipes. And so that's what it's going to do. He's going to go up and he's going to push through. And the fact that one guy died due to a collision is irrelevant to what I'm describing here. Okay, so now we get to this point, and this is where the game changes. So I don't want to go back the same way I just went. I could, but I don't want to. And I now want to spend the halite that I got. So what needs to happen, and this is where I'm at code-wise, I can't leave this pointer here. If I move out like this, 3 ships, because I had 3 halite to move, it's going to make 1, 2, 3. So now it's here, and it can now follow the same logic that it did before in terms of getting out. It can even follow the same logic in terms of getting down. Okay, so we're okay there. Where we run into a problem if we don't move who the leader is when we go backwards. Because now it thinks this is the spot that needs to get home, and these 3 ships...
That's because of the way that you have it. So if you keep it in the middle, guy, and you move north, and then you move west, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because the size of your ship is 7, or actually it's 8, because there should be a ship all the way still on the far right, because he's the one that died, right?
Yeah.
So you just move him 8 to the left, and that'll clear everyone.
Why would I move him 8 to the left? Doesn't...
Yeah, why are you stopping your leader like partway through?
I'm not stopping my leader. The leader needs to change. That's what I'm getting at. If you don't
I'm saying
update
the leader doesn't need to change.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to change. Why wouldn't you change the leader then?
I am going to change the leader.
He is. I'm saying you don't have to.
I strongly disagree that there is a better way to do it than to change the leader, because any math that you do is significantly more steps than updating the leader. Updating the leader is a single line. It's right here. I was in the process of doing it when we got into this conversation.
Right, but what happens if you move him 8 to the left right now?
8 to the left, he will clear the field and end up... So let's just count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he'll end up right here, which will put me... It'll put me back here, but now... I need to grow again, so I'm going to move back out left. But where did that 8
But
come
you just keep
length?
Yeah. Every time you spawn a turtle, you just increase how much it has to move.
But then
You don't have to move your pointer. That's why I gave you the idea of the ghost pointer, is because the whole point is if you're doing, and I'm not trying to say it's dumb movement, but you're not checking for ships for gaps, right? Now, if you start checking for gaps and you start wanting to change behavior so you're not just doing a line, then I could see the argument for having a leader, like a true leader, and have everybody else's movement and closeness based off of their position relative to that leader. But if you're just dummy moving a line, right, you don't have to care about any ship. You just assume best case scenario, which is all ships are survived.
Okay.
And then it also covers worst case scenario. Now, if you do have like checking for that, I have a wingman on this side and a wingman on this side, and if I don't, then we should collapse our line and yada yada yada, right? If you start going down that route,
which is
that
what
changes.
Yeah,
that
which
changes
is what
everything, though. That
Yeah.
that does change everything. Because, well, it doesn't. You can detect how many ships are on the line and where the gap is, and you just suck it up, and then you say the length of your conga line is now 7 instead of 8. And the leader position just has to move relative to that number. It's just a typewriter, right?
Yeah, and for what it's worth, originally, and the code that I'm copying from, my bot did do that. If a turtle died, it would collapse. It would collapse certain parts of the line depending on what was going on.
That's a logic that's kind of hard to solve.
It was a little easier when it was
Well, it's not like it's hard to do. It's more like to smartly do it. Like, do you actually want to do it? Because if you left that guy where he was he going to collect more halite rather than if you collapsed him?
Yeah, so the key was I didn't collapse the inner, like if somebody died on the inside, I didn't collapse that.
Collapse from the outside to the in?
Yeah, but if somebody killed one of the people on the ends, the bot would know that, such that when it went to produce more bots, it wouldn't create new gaps. If that makes sense.
Spawning to fill gaps is smart.
Yeah, exactly. It was more or less trying
But
to
do you
spawn
see what
fill
I mean
gaps.
about the ghost pointer? How you don't have to change leader?
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think where I would put that in here, because that becomes, so instead, what you're
It
suggesting,
should make everything really easy.
yeah, what
right?
you're suggesting is that where I flip direction, which is right here, instead of moving by ships to create, move by
Also,
ships
if you
to
wanted
create
to
by
be
length.
even dumber, I don't know if that, again, the
Let's
right
try
word.
this.
You just keep track of every move that was given to the ghost, and then you in an array, and then you just pop, or you splice it, right? Splice the inverse, because that's a thing. You can invert directions, so you just create an array of the movements that were given. Although the only problem, you have to keep it on the pointer, because the pointer doesn't call the spawn, right? That goes to the ship. So if you keep an array of the moves that were given, like I said, you just splice the inverse, which will completely reverse everything that was done. And then as you spawn new ships, you require that the length of that array of movements be increased by 1 or whatever, and then you just push them farther out, and then it should keep, every time the pointer gets back to its zeroed state, you just clear that array and then repeat indefinitely.
Yeah, I want to see this. So, in theory, this is the same logic, Richard, that you just suggested here. So it's going to go a little further than it should. That's fine. Why did it go that far?
Oh, that went a lot further.
Yeah, something.
A bot died. If that causes a problem somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just curious
to
if
go
it was
do other
literally
work.
that simple. And maybe the math is still not quite right. So ships, in my head, it should be ships to create plus the currently available ships.length is how much we want to change the. That's what we want to move by. You said 8, right? So that should be 3 plus 5. That should be, or 7 in this case. So the target should be 7 plus where we are on the shipyard. Why?
He's pushing out though, Justin. So
Oh, yeah. So it's not 8. It's
8 on the way back.
8 on the way back. So the return direction
It's ships to create on
the first move, which is
on the way out.
which is something I don't code-wise. I don't have a place to tell it how far it needs to go back right now.
Like I said, if I were doing this, I would have 2 states. I would have the out state where I create a queue of moves, and then I would have a return state where I undo that queue via inverse, right?
Interesting.
And then
But it's still not. It's undoing. It's still undoing more moves. Yeah. Okay. I'm with you.
And-
I know
and
that.
then
I know.
once that array is cleared, I then start the process of creation, and I move based on ships created. I think at that point, because that means that my position bot, if it starts in the shipyard, has returned home. If that entire queue is cleared, then the number of ships created is how far I have to go out, and then I go down the number, and then I undo that, and then, well,
I
have to keep track of how far the ships are to the right and the left, and that would be something else.
So I am no longer of the belief that you can't do it. I am now just of the belief that moving the pointer is going to turn out to be easier. At least for me at the moment.
It is quite possible that it may be easier. I wouldn't do it all the time, right?
No, it only happens whenever you spawn ships. And even that isn't quite right. So this.
But you know what I said? If my goal would be to be able to create a command queue that I could just do the reverse, and wherever the pointer has to be for that to occur is the ideal. What is that?
Okay, I want to get
this.
this.
We're there, and we go 1, 2, 3 down. We have to go up. So we actually had to go. So when the pointer crosses over, then all the ships are to the right. Then we go 3 to the right, and then we go down 1 and back up, and then we have to go 8 to the left plus new ships. So then we go 8 to the left plus say 1 new ship, then we have to go. I would have to draw it out.
Yeah, it gets conceptually, and I guess that's where the difficulty comes in. There's a lot of little quirks that come into play. I
suppose with this strategy, I would just make the right bot position 0, the left bot. No. Whenever they're done creating ships, I would change the pointer, I guess. Is that what you're doing?
Yes, exactly. Except it's turned out to be in a slightly different location.
And what? Whenever you're done creating ships, I would make the ship that is the last one created the new pointer, and then it only has to move the number of. No, it doesn't, because then you create more ships.
So I'm gonna try something here. I have a theory. I could be wrong.
I can see where you. If you're making ships every single time, then yeah.
I'm gonna bow out. I'm tired.
Good night.
And I'm gonna dream about you creating classes for your stuff so that.
Dude,
organized.
totally dream code. It's terrifying.
Alright, laters.
Okay, we set the target for home plus the number of ships to create, so it goes 3 out. We can't update the pointer yet. We need to update the pointer. We need to update the pointer when it's done. So update pointer when done equals true. This is the best way I can come up with this at the moment. Bar update pointer when done equals false. Let's put the code if ships to create equals 0 and update pointer when done equals true. Then global pointer equals me.shipyard.position. Me.shipyard.position. Yes, not with the parentheses. Save. Run. Something
Shouldn't be
went
wrong.
Failed unhandled 2-wire format 618 then 51.
Oh, so did you figure out the playing a Python bot against an Node.js bot?
Yep. I saw your
Okay.
post.
Cool.
Ship move, global save move. That's an interesting problem. Me.shipyard.position global pointer. Let's log this. Global pointer is now that. So run this again, watch it error again. Then look at the bot log. Building ship, building ship, building ship. Find the word reverse. Reverse. Reverse, reverse. Online here. Okay. So reverse is 3. Waits, that's fine. Sets the position to 12, which is 4 away. Or that technically that's 3 away because it's going to move 1 extra space. 12, 3, 9, 9, 10, 10. 8. It jumped back to 8 at that point. And the target should have... I feel like it went a turn too soon. Global target equals me. Let's call this global shift instead. 0. Global pointer equals new position. Global pointer dot x minus global shift, comma, global pointer dot y. Global shift is 0. Global shift equals 0. Global shift then gets put to this line for ships to create. Ships, global shift equals ships to create. Except this is not the reverse. I'm wrong on that. No, it is the reverse. Yeah, that's fine. Reverse, reverse. I think it's global shifts times exter.
You're still coding.
I know.
Yeah, right?
I'm gonna regret my life. In more ways than one.
Mm-hmm.
Erred on something.
What's VS
Update
Code?
pointer when done is gone.
Visual Studio Code.
Is that like a free version of VS?
Free version of what now?
Is that a
Okay.
free version?
Is
It's
what a free
just
version?
a free IDE for writing code.
I have Visual Studio 2015.
Why don't you get Visual Studio 2018?
Maybe I have 2017. I have 2007. I don't know what I have.
Probably 2017 is the oldest.
Documents empty. Windows is garbage.
Yeah, that's why I use Arch Linux. That's why I'm moving away from Windows.
I can't tell if these are installed or if they're tricking me. I have 2017, I think.
Okay,
Yeah,
probably 2017 is the
15.
latest.
I have both. Sign in to start using your Azure credits. Publish code to a private Git. Sync your settings and unlock the IDE. What does that mean? Sign into your account.
You
Shifted the
don't
wrong
need an
direction.
account?
Maybe not with code. But with this garbage, I think I do. Caps lock on? No. Fuck you, Microsoft. Sorry. Darn you, Microsoft.
Keeping people honest. Twitch. Oh, there's people chatting. Why
Yeah.
Notepad plus plus give VS a go? Yeah, I don't know. I'm a creature of habit.
They want me to pay.
What? Do you have the community version?
I don't know. No, it's kicking me down to the community version or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably could benefit. You're not wrong.
Community.
Should I get this VS Code thing?
I don't know.
I mean, your choice.
Well, I mean, are they gonna make me like?
Nobody's
You
gonna
get-
make you do anything.
The community version. It's
What's Kevin
It's
coding
free.
in these days? I don't even know. Vim?
yeah. I'm using Vim and VS Code. Vim's
Should I
more.
Should I just use Dreamweaver?
I never use that. Wait.
I need to shift both the target and the destination.
Oof.
Someone convinced me that Dreamweaver is not the optimal way.
Dreamweaver?
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm grinning. Go ahead. Have fun.
But isn't that for?
It's got JavaScript.
What do you have against Dreamer, Kevin? While you're at it, why don't you design an HTML interface for this?
The fact that you have to buy Adobe Dreamweaver?
Buy Adobe. I'm already
You
paying
just
for
need
it.
a subscription. Yeah, it comes with everything else that I needed Adobe for. That I only need Lightroom these days.
A VM extension in VS. See, here's what you got to understand. I don't want to get too far away from being able to code in just straight JavaScript, because my plan here is I'm going to have to be teaching this stuff on Chromebooks that have nothing. And we're not going to be modifying the Chromebooks.
Are you following the tutorial?
Me? No.
Penguin is.
Penguin?
No.
If you're actually following the tutorial, they talk you through it conceptually on the left.
Oops.
And
They all
I
went bye-bye.
did think that the coding was the tutorial was a little lacking for people who were completely new to coding. Even myself, someone who has some experience with coding, the tutorial I was like, wait, what? Because it doesn't handhold you. Just read it out loud to yourself, and it can help you sometimes figure out what the code is doing, because they've designed their code to be read out loud.
Yeah, that's a link to the tutorials for beginner code tutorials of initialization, game loop, basic movement,
Why did
building a fleet.
But it still doesn't like tell you this is where you need to do it, and it doesn't update the code on the right side for you to see, oh, this is how they did it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
I don't think it does, at least.
I haven't done it. So I
Between
don't-
modules, it might have actually put a new code in. But it's also in Python, so it's not going to look exactly like what we're doing.
Okay, what in my brain... This is why I shouldn't be doing this anymore. It's time to go home. Your new target is position 8-8. Now see, this is not correct, because I made the wrong turtle the leader. I made the wrong turtle the leader. The leader needs to switch... We've been wrong this whole time. This is depressing. I'm going to leave this code in place, just in case
Yeah,
I
I think
need
the
it.
tutorial... I don't know if the tutorial comes in anything other than Python.
I haven't seen one for anything other than Python, so
I
I'm
think
going to
it's
guess
just
no.
Python.
But it does use your editor file, so if she has it set to Java and then tries to run the tutorial code, won't it just completely bug out or something?
What? Oh,
When
maybe,
you do the
yes.
tutorial, doesn't it use your editor space?
Yes, so if it's in JavaScript, you're going to have all sorts of nightmares. It'll error.
Java. She has it set to Java.
Oh,
I would
biology.
possibly delete your bot and change your language to Python, just for the short term, to do the tutorial until you understand the tutorial, and then do Java. Python's a pretty easy
JavaScript,
language.
to be clear. JavaScript.
Okay, well,
Hey,
she's
No.
saying Java.
Java, to be
Oh,
clear.
is she intentionally picking Java?
Yeah,
because of
she
robotics?
knows- Yeah,
Okay, that's
probably.
fair. Just be mindful, Penguin. It's going to be different than what we're doing in Computer Club. That's all I'm going to say. So if
That's
you're trying to
okay.
follow along in Computer Club, you may want to maintain a JavaScript bot and a Java bot.
Yes.
Have you not uploaded a new one, Kevin?
I have not yet. I'm still. So I did a bunch of changes.
Your
and
efficiency went way down, I think.
Oh,
Maybe not.
oh god dang, yeah. But then, so I did a lot of changes, and then I ran it once, and I changed everything back, and so before I change things, I could get up to like 40,000. After the change, at most I get 8,000. I'm just
Ooh,
like,
that's not good.
but how though? Like I really changed nothing except for like different. See, what I should have done was I want to create a run game file that runs a specific seed. Because if it runs a specific seed, I know that my halite should stay constant if I don't change any of the path finding or whatnot.
Sure. This looks like broken logic.
Like for
Why would
reference,
you do that?
what I did was I took a seed that a bunch of the high ranking people got like 150,000 in, and then I saved that seed so whenever I test my bot and its pathfinding, I can see how well it'll do with the Halite collection.
That's smart, dude. It's really smart.
Yeah. I want to create some scripts for testing bots and different constants. But
Yeah. That's called machine learning.
no,
You automate it.
Yeah. Like it'll just run through like, let's try this number, then this number, and then it'll output its findings of like what's best for it.
Miles, always playing Assassin's Creed.
Dang. Punching.
So I'm watching this new guy, new top diggity dog. His bots made some stupid decisions in the first few turns.
Which is
Yeah.
kind of scary, given that it means he can only get better. Or maybe he knows
Yeah.
something we don't.
No, he. I mean, Rachel does win a couple of the games with him.
We're calling it Rachel.
What?
I don't think it's pronounced Rachel. Oh, he's already got a deploy out. Oh, so the other guy.
No, I'm talking about Rachel. How else
Yeah.
would you say Rachel? Rachel?
Rackhole.
Rachel.
I guarantee it's not English.
It's from Flipfiddle.
Yep.
It's from Finland.
Oh, yeah.
Mm,
Our alcohol. That's all
Our
I'm saying. I
alcohol.
get it.
our alcohol.
Something went wrong with the target there.
That's a you
We're getting
problem.
so
Another
close.
deploy. It is interesting to see how similar the Rachel and Zixwolf are, though, in
Yeah.
terms of when they create their drop-offs, where they kind of create their drop-offs.
Yeah.
And the only reason Zaxful wins is, I think, they have a better ship defense or attack strategy or something,
Yeah.
or created more ships. Hard to
God
tell.
dang it.
Oh, but they even have he's got, yeah, he has room to improve.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I also have room to improve.
No, I think I'm perfect, sitting at 55 gold.
It's funny
Okay, what
how
happened here?
so you're sitting at 55 and you're gold. I'm sitting at 53 and I'm silver. And then Justin is
Uh-oh.
5 points off.
Wait,
Yet
is there a
he's-
ship sitting there?
No, but it keeps spawning new ones.
Because you have available halite and you're...
Yeah, so they come down and then boom, create, boom, create, boom, create, boom, create, boom, create. But
But you didn't drop off, though.
I was trying to.
You went the wrong way.
No, it didn't. Not for the windmill. Here, I'll rewind.
I didn't watch the whole way.
Yeah, so. Oh, maybe it did go the wrong way. Oh, yeah, because it figured out an alternative. That's a problem.
It figured out a shorter route?
which is weird because it's not using normalized values, so I'm not sure how it did that. But
Who's the leader? The guy on the far right?
far right, guy on the far right. So it goes out, they go up. It's still kind of funny though.
It is.
Comes down, and then
Should you check to see how big the map is before you decide how many ships to spawn, perhaps?
like when I should stop spawning.
Yeah.
I don't wanna. What I should do
I'm
is
not
start
gonna
a second
force
layer.
you.
Two by grid. That gets trickier though.
It's a purple pen.
What?
I have a purple pen right next to me. I didn't realize it. I thought it was black.
Now I only have one ship and it's no longer moving, which is weird because
It's like, I'm scared. I'm alone.
he's loaded with halite. He's by himself. He should still be moving. I don't know why he's not moving. The pointer should still be moving.
What's the yellow bot?
I don't know.
Just
Some random movement bot. I
You
don't.
need to change their names, sir.
Yeah, he does okay though.
yeah.
Alright.
So-
But I'm wondering, who's the yellow bot?
So if it... Okay, I want to give up and do other things at this point, but I need to go and look at
Never give up. Never surrender.
how... So it got to the point... It decided to go home.
I also like how Justin in his code has somewhere in it says if this equals true, then,
Yeah,
not just if this.
yeah. I love doing that. Like this right here. If all spots.
Yeah, if all spots equals true, then all equals false.
Well, it helps with readability to a degree.
Sometimes, although that shouldn't be that big a deal. And there are a lot of places I don't do it.
Yeah, definitely.
But normally they're not booleans. If it's a boolean, I have a bad habit of doing it.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know why. It's just something I do. Okay, think hard, Justin. Why? So it triggered home
Shouldn't you
together.
use 3 equals 2?
Yeah, you can use
if
three
it's
equals.
I'm saying if it's a boolean, like you only use it in case where it's a boolean, you'd want it to be 3 equals. Otherwise, if something and it's non-boolean, it'll evaluate to true, right?
Yeah, also 3 is making sure that like
Yeah, that's the same type as well.
yeah. Best example is null and undefined.
Right.
Yeah.
There's truly no difference between adding the double equals and true and not adding the double equals and true. That's what Kevin's trying to point out.
No, I get it, but my point is if you were actually wanted it to read out as true, you would use a triple equal true, whereas if you didn't care, you just wanted to make sure that it had a value.
Yeah, that's probably fair.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's got to be part of get unsafe moves. Is where my little problem is coming from.
Which I see you haven't submitted a bot yet.
I am in the middle of learning how to code,
Get
Oh, yeah.
Object-oriented.
unsafe.
and it's a massive
It's awesome.
it's not fun. I'm not doing fun. This is not fun because I don't get to see things happen. This is all spinach all the time. And I would rather go play Black Ops or something instead of eat spinach.
Mhm.
Okay, so Kevin, you said something. Well, actually, I don't know who said it. In theory, I could submit a new gamemap.js if I wanted.
Yes.
Yeah, you can submit anything.
Yeah. The HLT directory. You'd submit your HLT directory with it if you do an offline submit.
Basically, as we submit everything that you want into the zip file because you have to zip it up and send it.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I don't want all that extra effort. So
Spin it up.
what I'm going to do Where's game map?
I also have stolen lots of code.
Game map gets defined right here.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to do this every turn though.
But isn't it your code?
I can do game.game.map, right? Like that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Game
Yeah.
dot game map
I learned what they're doing in that statement.
dot get unsafe Justin moves,
What?
and it's going to take in equals function. There we go. Source, destination, and then I'm going to remove the normalize.
Are you going to be able to do that because it's a class?
What? What's your problem?
Is JavaScript going to let you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Add a method.
Yeah, JavaScript is crazy.
I know
Yeah.
JavaScript is crazy, but I'm just saying it's been defined as a class.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's...
Yeah, you can
It's gonna let
throw
me
a
do it.
function in there.
It's gonna be brutally
Okay.
awesome.
Think about it like this.
I'm
JavaScript-
just saying with the class feature, did they make it so that you have to define things properly is
Nope.
all I'm wondering.
So, for reference, in JavaScript is one of the languages where you can pass a function as a parameter of a function and then
I am
execute
100%
that function.
aware.
Yeah. It's crazy
It's
awesome.
complicated.
It works.
Binding and callbacks,
I lost where I was writing my code though.
complicated.
Alright, good night, Penguin.
Night, penguin.
Good night. Because just like making sure that you can even reread your code to understand what's happening is
Yes.
complicated.
Don't care about has drop off. Don't care about halftime. Not that one. 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 Am I not edit? Oh, I'm not looking at the right bot. That would be my problem. Okay. So wait, I just added it to the wrong bot.
Yeah, you did.
That's okay. I can just copy and paste. So all of this gets added way up at the top, like right. I'm gonna put a little comment here for just for myself. Justin alters core JavaScript game files here because he hates using any file other than this one. This is just one. Wait, this needs to be a second example.
Okay.
This is just the first of many bad examples of... No. They're good examples. Good examples of things not to do when coding. Things not to do when coding professionally or with any sense of self-preservation.
Self-decency.
If
So,
you don't want to be murdered by other programmers who are watching you on Twitch for bad code. There. I think we've covered the details.
okay, I'm gonna tell you one more thing.
Why do I do that?
It may or may not work.
What may not work?
Your function.
Why will my function not work?
I don't know.
I mean,
Because-
it threw an error, but that had nothing to do with anything. See, look at this. It just had, a random error. So we're going to go scroll and find out what that random error was. That's the error.
I'm familiar with this error.
Yeah.
I've
That's-
gotten this error and I
Cannot
had to
set
put code in.
property get unsafe moves of undefined. Cannot set property.
Oh, that was not the error that I get.
Cannot set property of get unsafe moves. What did I miss, Kevin? That should be legal.
So move that after. Let's see. Scroll down to like line 50 or so.
You want me to move it
Wow.
after this line right here? Oh, because it gets redefined.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Now I got to move the comment too.
Yeah.
You know what I could do? No, I'm not going to. I'll put it here. But see, now it's going to run every time the loop runs. That's just
Uh-huh.
excessive.
Okay, I'm gonna
Whatever. I
put
don't
this into point of view. So when I wanted to go home, the ship would be like, "Oh, we need to go home," and then the ship would set a variable, "Go home equals true" inside a ship. The next turn,
Couldn't you
I get
just
a
add
new ship. So basically, that variable is gone because I'm given a new ship instead of the ship that I just tinkered with.
know it's depressing, isn't it?
Yeah.
couldn't you just set a callback so that it applies once, and then after the thing is run, it then sets the setting function to nothing so that it doesn't try to set the function again? I think you can do that. That's really complicated, but
What?
JavaScript, man.
Yeah, JavaScript. Alright,
Why?
Java.
Oh, it's static.
I like how maps let you use functions
probably
as
do this.
keys. It's like, what?
Bad style, but I can probably do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, in what world is this a good idea?
hmm
How am I supposed to use this?
Get target direction. Stop it. So I probably have to import this then.
Might as well. Just throw it in there.
Can I put it up here like that? I don't know.
It's so crazy that you can use a function as a key for a map. That's just like, what?
Do not read property of get of undefined.
Like, what's the usefulness of that, Kevin?
I can't think of any.
There's got to be a better
like-
way to import game map.
Like storing a bunch of functions and then the value is the parameters that you want to call with that function, maybe?
I don't know.
So that makes sense, actually.
Alright, it's definitely past 10:30.
I know. It's destroying my life.
So what I did instead of learning how to object-oriented code is I'm reading a bunch of papers on pathfinding over graphs.
Ooh, do you want to send them my way?
Google pathfinding over graphs.
Oh, my bad. Do you want to send them my way?
And then all I get is like Princeton homework and Harvard homework, and I'm just like, oh man.
These smart people.
Yeah, I'm old and my brain is slow now.
Yeah, dang. Oh, the A star.
A star I've actually programmed before. I should probably look to see that code.
Okay, this is just making me mad now.
Q.com. Does this still work even? It does.
Go ahead, give me an error that it's static. I don't really care. Game map is not defined. I know that. Get target direction. Fine. What's get target direction? It's a stupid function that I'm going to define again as well because it's static, and so it doesn't need anything except it uses direction north and direction south and all these other constants. But thankfully those are also already defined, so I should be okay. We're going to call this static get Justin's target direction. I'm doing something stupid in multiple ways. I'm not really sure entirely what. And go. New error. It's not inside a class, so declaring something static is just stupid. We can just call it function at this point.
Wow.
Static, one of my least favorite keywords. They rank right up there with global variables. Huh. It ran. and I think it ran well. What?
Maybe.
It had 8,000 halite.
Oh, so it ran decently.
Let's reload the page because something is going wrong.
Error loading error log. Not replays.
I like how they updated that.
The bots go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. The ants go marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah.
Keep singing because we're behind.
2 by 2. They're turtles.
Oh, that red guy's real jerk.
I know, he does that every single time. I don't know what his problem is. He must not like me.
That can't help you actually
programmed.
figure stuff out. You should probably set it to a non-debag bot.
Oh, give it extra.
Although I suppose the blank gap actually kind of helps to a degree. I'm impartial on whether it stays or goes. Oh, jeez.
He just went the other way again. Why did he go the other way?
You are sweeping through Red Town. You're killing it. Oh, you picked up a red bot for a second. Oh.
You completely destroyed red.
Yeah, pretty much. There are some perks to running into the other people. I'm kind of tempted to upload this bot just to see what the net result is.
Oh, pink attacked red.
Green
And then pink kills himself.
You should upload it.
Is your pink the kamikaze, the non-we all die kamikaze bot?
So here's the real problem with what's going on right now. I have no real concept of where the leader is.
Yeah, I wish you could
Mark somebody.
Yeah, yes.
I could probably put an overlay or something. Okay, so right. Oh, and then they kamikazes. So
Just use your finger.
in more ways than one. That was interesting though.
Oh my. Your kamikaze was not a very good one.
Okay, so let's change the strategy one more time, just a little bit, because apparently.
Did he come in third?
I don't know.
Can't tell what pink did.
He came in third, yes. Pink completely got wiped off the map, probably because of an error or something. I don't know.
Oh, so he came. Oh, he did come in third.
Wait, maybe this is a different
red
game.
was.
This might be a different game.
That's a different.
Yeah, that's a different game.
Yeah, it was this game, I think. Yeah. So 8,000. He came in second.
Yeah, second this time.
Nice.
Okay, so we're gonna make one other change here because I think.
Wow, you really killed red, man.
I think before I
crazy.
upload it, I want to get this one change in here where
I want to play your bot.
I want to play my bot too. I've got all this excess code now that I got to find a way to make disappear. So if game number is less than 0.5, I don't really think that makes sense anymore.
Game number less than 0.5.
Or if the turn number is less than 0.5. Instead,
you should stop making ships really early. You should have it based on how many ships you have, perhaps.
I want it based on exactly. I want it to be.
And I would have it based on the distance
length
between the two bases.
Yep. So total. Because if I'm colliding with their base, that's just not going to be a good day.
No, that's bad. However,
Although,
being near them, I would say within one of their base, maybe two, or maybe right next to it. It's either right next to or one away on this, what I will continue to call dumb strategy, just because there's no smartness going on. I think, right? It's just following a set movement pattern.
Sure. My ship's dot length is less than. This won't be perfect because ships die, but that's okay. My ship's dot length is less than. You know what? I'm going to put the game turn number in there. I don't want it building bots after halfway through anyway.
Half?
For this spot, yeah.
The starter bot is at. Let me tell you. The starter bot is 0.75.
Yeah, that's way too high. I'm like a 0.35 kind of guy.
I'm at about 0.65 on my actual bot.
Or game.turn timer is less than 0.6 times the constants. I get really way too picky about this stuff.
No.
This one's going to be less than 0.6.
Mine was insane before.
And
I cleaned it up a little bit. It was just too crazy.
Yeah, I'm really good, man.
okay,
Good night.
I'm going to upload this very shortly. Game dot.
Did you guys know that if you press Windows and like a number between 1 and 9, it'll open up the application on your taskbar?
Yes.
That's
Associated with it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I just
No.
accidentally pressed it and then it opened
I
up
try to
Steam.
avoid the Windows key.
No, it's a wonderful key. Windows key P, Windows Tab, Windows T, Windows R. I love Windows R.
Windows 1 through 9.
Okay. And my brain will come back to me here. My ships.
Right, see you guys later.
Better.
No, ships created. Ships created is less than
Dot width.
game. It's game map dot width, right? Divided by. Is it always 4? I think it's always 4.
Game.gamemap.width.
Yeah, so game map dot width divided by 4. I'm pretty sure it's 4. Thinking, is it 4? Is it?
I don't think my notepad does code hints. Where am I in notepad then?
Is it 4? If you're there, the distance from you to your opponent is actually half. So it's actually just game width divided by 2.
Yeah. -1.
Yep, yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna add -1 just in case.
Maybe -2.
I don't.
Because
think
you have your
I'll need-
initial ship. No.
I think if all I'm trying to do is avoid the shipyard, I should be okay. But
Okay. I want to watch this.
it aired. Where did you air?
You're missing a parentheses. more than
I'm
likely.
sure that's exactly what it is. Yeah, it's that one.
Yep,
Boom.
it's the one on that before the and.
Yep. I want to see the bot run. It only got 2517, so that's not a good sign. Let's see what goes wrong.
Does not kill red this time.
Maybe I'll just get rid of the turn timer. It's just not needed. Halfway is also very dangerous. Wait, I should go back. Did it go too far? It did. It went 1 too far. So, yeah, we'll do -2.
Yeah, because you move off the shipyard plus your first one.
And then it
That's
went
why I
home the
said
wrong way.
-2.
which I still don't understand why that's happening, and then it gets stuck like that and dances. So we'll just do -2 in hopes that somehow that prevents the problem.
And they go home the wrong way. Then they dance.
Well, you know, they're turtles. They gotta
I
party.
know turtles love to dance.
Something else in here normalized that I'm not seeing. Destination sub ABS dir input. I don't see that. Do I not call get just an unsafe moves? Is that the problem? No, I call get just an unsafe moves. So that's when going home, which is the only time that that should happen. But just in case, let's put it here too. And why not? Save, render, go. It aired somewhere because... Actually, I'm not sure it did air. It may have just sucked that bad. No? Well, yes. So it accelerates, goes out, gets into a fight. Something is very wrong with its trying to go home algorithm right there. And I'm not sure why it thinks home is faster going right. It's like,
Why is it pathfinding?
it's not. It's reversing direction. Let's go.
Are you calling the inverse of the inverse? Do you keep track of what it's doing?
Not really. It's just a bunch of -1 multiplication. But you know what? I know what the problem is. There's an else missing. If x dir equals okay, so x dir, so it goes this way, then it goes this way, then it reverses. It goes this way, then it goes this way, and it should reverse again. No, that's right. What am I? Goes this way. It's like x dir gets reversed. I need to look at the bot log. This will make more sense. So when did that actually happen? That happened.
Bebop.
So it comes down right here. 9. This is turn 156. Yeah, global pointer position 25.8. Move to 8.8. Setting global safe home move to +1, 0. Distance y is less than this height divided by 2. Distance y is less than this height divided by minor invert. This width divided by 2. what is this doing? If the distance of x sub ABS, subtract the source. So destination, subtract the source, absolute value. Maybe we remove the absolute value. So maybe the change I made to this function wasn't quite right. Let's try that. Math is not on my side. That wasn't so bad. So play, watch, play, watch, play, watch, watch. I'm getting too tired. This is why I shouldn't be doing this. Oh, sweeper, that looks good. This is what I want to watch, though. What move does it make?
Conga.
Up, goes back home, goes back the other way, goes up. Oh, you know what? It still tried to create more ships, which is the problem it ran into there. And it did screw up that movement too, which I'm okay with. So we need to check. That same check needs to be put in one other spot. So it's this one right here.
We should sell popcorn to viewers.
It's not a bad idea. Eat popcorn on stream. Support Cub Scouts. Or just subscribe. Support Cub Scouts, because I'm going to have to pay for it either way. Ship move. Blah, blah, blah. Get turtles closest to home. That's not where it is. It's the ships created line that becomes the problem. So where is that line? I can just do a search for 1,000. Oh, it's right in front of me. Ships to create equals this. If ships created is less than that, then ships to create equals that. Save. You know what? There is one other thing I should add to this program. If it gets to that point, then attack. Oh no. Did something bad? Yeah, it crashed. Why doesn't it like that? Ships created is not defined. Isn't that a global? Ships created.
Make sure you spelled it right.
It's not a global. That's my problem. Now it is. Boom. Stupid coding, Justin. Think of ways, dream of ways tonight of not doing the things we've done. Holy shit.
I want to see this replay.
I'm gonna watch you play all the way through. And I kind of wonder if
I'm
there's
gonna
some
eat
collision
popcorn.
going on. I'm betting some. I know there's a
Oh.
fault in one of my if statements.
Yellow got locked for the first time.
In kind of a weird way, but yeah. Not good. Feeding red. But I know why. It was so it doesn't factor. No, it is ships created, so that should be fine. Why did it keep making more ships? It's still shifting by more than it should. Why did it still shift?
Change your ships created to keep it to 2 ships.
No, that's no fun.
It'll make it so you can easily tell what it's doing.
Else.
See if you can actually keep it to 2 ships, Justin.
Why would I want to keep
Challenge
it?
you.
I don't want to keep it to 2 ships.
Because like I said, 2 is an easy number to tell. Fine, do 4. I don't care. Just keep it to a small number.
I just wanted to stop creating movement. It stopped creating the ships.
Did it? It pushed them way over. So do
Yeah,
like a
no,
number.
it pushed him. It kept doing the movement, and that's what I was trying to fix just a moment ago. But what happened in this game? 11,000 with 32,000 to player 3. That's not as good. Let's go see what it did, though. See, it kept feeding. Why did it keep feeding out? So you want me to try just 2?
Nope. Try a small number of ships. And it's almost midnight, by the way.
Yeah, we're all gonna die someday. Math floor me, Halite amount, ships to create equals 0. Total ships. I mean, this could be part of it, but this is definitely part of it. Total ships needs to be ships created again. That way it doesn't get thrown off. Let's try that, just see what it does. It won again. It's not saying much against these bots, but it did win again. Okay, so it goes out.
Wait, did you have 2 ships this time?
No, I couldn't figure out how to make that happen.
You go down to a ship spawner and you say less than 3, or less than 2.
Now that's an interesting problem. I bet all of these bots are loaded. Yep. So why aren't they trying to go home? That's really weird. And then they figure out endgame. I still don't understand why they were sitting there. So what happened there? Let's rewind to the turn that they get frozen.
Do you have anything that you don't care about the leader dying anymore? It's not a ship.
Oh, I bet they all have more than 800. Yeah, okay. I think I know what's wrong. There's a check in here that I don't like. If this...
Yeah, why would you stop them from coming home if they're fat?
It's not that I'm stopping them from... So there's this... The mechanic here is a little bit hard to conceptualize, but bear with me. If... So the ships are only allowed to move if the ships are allowed to move. As weird as that sounds, right?
Yep.
So... All spots. If... All spots can move. We don't want to move if the ship's halite amount is less than 800. So it's not this one. This ship's halite amount is less than needed to move. Yeah, we definitely can all move. Needs to be false if this is true. Halite, there's a reason for this check. I'm going to make this go away for now. I don't remember what the reason was, but...
Where does it even get that? Oh, there it is. Floor, game that.
24th? That was a high-scoring game. Holy buckets.
Why does it divide by? Why do you have a ratio?
Where?
Oh. They're checking to see if it can even move, because if it doesn't have any case, it can't move.
Yeah, that's a safe thing. That one works, but... Well, that played out better. No... Okay. That wasn't bad. Now, if I was smart, I'd have it fill in the gaps.
That's a lot hard. Oh. I could see that being difficult.
Maybe. That's a sensor for me. If bot moved through and spot now empty and not end of line. Interesting. Okay. Now, I'm going to try it one more time. I'm going to run it one more time with just 2 bots. It won. I guess we can watch it real quick. Watch. Selecting replay. Okay, now there's one more thing I want to do. Get all ships. Position game players get our player. I think that's right.
What are you doing?
I am enabling an attack bot.
Oh,
And last but not least, can I do any more? Trying to figure out if it makes sense to find a way to create a ship for the gap.
if it's easy. If it's not, don't.
The shipyard spawn. Move together. Yeah, I think this is probably as good as I'm gonna do without. I know what I'll do. This is a good idea. If game, I'm gonna copy this real quick. I want to have a better, slightly better end game strategy. Sensor watch for third. If max turns divided by 1.5, sounds like a third. If var available ships is less. Nope, this doesn't make any sense. I'm not going to change it. There's no point in changing. If or if me dot available, I want a safety net. If this is always true. It's not game turn number equals 1 that I care about. It's me dot my ships equals 0. Let's try that real quick. Just make sure it runs. What? Unexpected. I killed something here. Parenthesis. Parenthesis. Sure. Run, run, Rudolph, run. Sweeper dominated that one. Let's try again. Sweeper wins. Sweeper wins. Sweeper wins. Sweeper wins. Sweeper didn't win. Sweeper wins winning a lot of these games. Okay, let's now try putting the other two bots back in.
One had 0 Halite.
I know.
Okay.
He won though. Win. Ooh, second place. Win. 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 So, I realize I'm not competing against the best bots in the world. I have them going with weird strategies. But that's holding up.
What? What?
It's
You ran
time.
2 sweepers against each other.
Oh, you want me to run 2 sweepers against each other?
You already did.
When?
The last
Oh.
thing that I just saw.
Yeah, I guess. Well, it's interesting that Sweeper 1 keeps winning, but
I wonder if it's heavily dependent on you starting in a specific spot of the map. Because you go one direction versus the other when you come out.
I go down first. That would be not surprising. Because down will eat out of the up for the next player.
And a lot of people, because of the way that get all directions, returns north first, are going to have a north bias.
So player 1 will have an advantage. Player 1 will have an advantage that player 3 does not.
Right.
Which, that's true all the time, to some degree.
Nope, it's not. It's absolutely incorrect.
No, I mean, the sheer fact that that function is there and a lot of people are using it.
Oh, yeah.
Player
Yep.
3 and 4 will have that advantage, or disadvantage, I should say.
Yes.
That's actually, that's a thing worth noting.
Yeah, but again, just like any of these things worth noting is that I think they become invalid at a certain level.
Yeah, people will care about them less because there are ways of handling it.
Like, look at Kevin. As far as I know, he's not using that because he's going for specific nodes, right?
Yep.
And he probably has a pretty decent bot if he can solve his Congo line problem. But I'm going back reading Shattered Cube stuff. It's kind of funny. I haven't posted there forever. Am I paying for that? I'm paying for that now, right? You're not paying for that? Or are you paying my hosting?
I don't know. I think I'm probably hosting you, but I don't know.
I think you are hosting me.
ShatteredCube.org. I think it's on DreamHost, which means like there's
.com.
literally no cost to me. Pingrinsefirst.com. Are you on the same server? Yeah, I'm hosting you. I don't know if you are paying for the domain or if I'm paying for the domain, but
I'm paying for the domain at least.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was like, did not accept that you would pay for that, for sure. If you want me to pay to host, you can do that, because maybe that'll encourage me to. Wow.
If you needed to, that's fine, but it's not needed by me. It's going to cost me the same either way. I'm going to have to pay for that hosting.
Dude, these posts are from like 2009, 2000. The last post was 2012. when I was just going here because I was looking at what was doing in JavaScript before like Liam came into existence, and I stopped traveling, and suddenly like all my energy was gone.
I'm going to subtract 3 because something's not right. And I don't know what it is. Is there something different about the positioning on a large map? Also, I never triggered the attack. I'm going to try doing that real quick. So sensor array, turn on halftime. And where's that code? Math.floor game map.width minus, I'm going to make it -4 there, and there. Oh, that might be why. Let's just get rid of that. That's not needed right now. Oh, it's just going to get in the way. Run. Just one more simulation. One more simulation. Did he win? He did. Oh, I'm going to upload it. I'm probably going to regret it, but I'm going to upload it.
It did win, right?
Yeah, I won, but I'm still probably going to regret it. I still think my other bot is significantly, like, I think the bot I had a week and a half ago.
The attack bot?
A later iteration of it, but yeah. I think is...
Do you have that anywhere?
Yeah. I have the bot that currently has the peak. Shit. Oh, wait. That might be okay. I don't really know, but I lost. Let's go watch that game.
You already have a game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, it disobeyed. what happened here? So it got over here, and it went past. That's not supposed to happen. Somewhere there's a bug. I know that much.
Bye.
Wasn't a
Oh
horrible
man, this
person.
person has really dumb bots.
It's not good when all this effort is being put in and my rating is constantly going the wrong direction. This is bot number 42. It should be perfect.
Are you? Oh. Oof. Oof. That rating, man.
Yeah, it hurts.
2 times sigma. Not exactly a good conga line.
Nope.
They returned on their X, but not their Y. That's funny. Oh gosh, I'm tired. I don't want to do this coding, Justin. I've put it off all night so well.
Well, you know, it's part of the challenge, overcoming. And maybe we need to take a break one of these days and play some Overwatch. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I was thinking, I was like, this challenge.
Sounds good,
goes
Kevin.
to-
If you decide to show up, maybe you can show up and let me take a nap.
Mhm.
We'll see. Actually, I'll be writing other code, I'm guessing, tomorrow based on how tonight has gone. I just want game 2. Give me game 2. And then I want to get the bug out of the system, but I'm not going to do that tonight. It's already 2 hours past when I was going to stop. Because it's an addiction. Halite.
Well, if you're seeing things happen, it's an addiction. If you're literally just coding without being able to see anything happen, it is a slog.
Yes, there is that. Hello, my one stray bot. You make me happy when skies are gray.
Blue rivers are true. Where do you
Sweeper
get shit
wins.
from me? Got it.
Sweeper wins. Sweeper lost horribly. Interesting. I should look at this game. Why did it err? Oh no. There's a bug somewhere in my bot. And not the good kind either. The kind that ends everything. Or not. Maybe it just... I'm going to undo something. Because it's not really needed. In theory, this Justin's target direction and the other normalize is no longer needed. Because it never gets to the point where it should ever need that function. And what other number did I change? I changed this. I removed. That's just bad code, but I didn't want to have to redo the parentheses. Run the sweeper bot. See what happens again. No error. No error. No error, but didn't win. No error. No error. I think I'm going to upload another pop.
That's fun to watch. Oh, what?
It's playing itself.
Yeah, but green did worse.
Yeah, and green overextended. I added that -4. Green doesn't have the -4. I'd like to see them not run into each other before I submit this to make sure things are working right, because that's what should happen. Pop out replay. That's fun to watch. Very close match. Submit. I don't know why I felt the need to submit that one. It wasn't drastically different.
I've certainly done that.
Oh, I'm just hoping it fixed whatever the bug was. I only got one game on the previous spot. What has happened to all the games? I used to get hundreds of games. Just must not be rated well enough. Well, Twitch, we will find out tomorrow evening exactly where this is. I'm going to end the stream and either go do the work that I was going to do at 10:30 or go to bed and wake up early and do the work that I was going to do. So, in any case, have a great night. Thanks for watching if you've been here the entire time. Good luck, Richard and Kevin, with whatever improvements you're making to your bots. And hopefully when we wake up or get here tomorrow, my rating will be 60 on some really weird off chance that this thing actually does work.
I'm betting 22.
Yeah, apparently I've gotten worse.
I think it's pretty smart. I think you're going to be about 28.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems to be better than a lot of my other bots at grabbing things, and
No, I think you're in a rock, paper, scissors situation.
maybe. I don't know.
Because you beat your other bots when you completely destroy them because of the way your ship spawning code works.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what ends up happening.
That's part of the fun.
A wave of ships
part of
can
the
be
fun.
very destructive.
Absolutely.
So we'll see how many people are impacted by it. And then I do want to, and I don't have it turned on in the bot, I do want to make a version where the attack bot is still a part of it too, just for the heck of it to see what happens. And I wouldn't mind putting the scatter code back in at some point either. So as soon as a collision occurs, it breaks apart and they all scatter and they start doing go to largest node stuff.
Yeah.
But then the question is, why not just go to largest node stuff? Don't know. So
Yeah, I know why. But go on. Have a good night.
yep. Either way. So talk to y'all later and good night, Rich.
Good night.
I gotta figure out how to end the stream. I forgot how to do that in the last 3 hours. Okay, now I'm really going bye-bye. Bye.